three-way battle for the GOP nomination in the race to succeed Senator Jeff Flake in Arizona. Now, Politico says the National Republican Senatorial Committee wants Trump to endorse Congresswoman Martha McSally, who is the establishment favorite. The fear is that the alternatives, Joe Arpaio and Dr. Kelli Ward, a former state senator, are unelectable. That's the reporting. What does Kelli Ward think of that? Welcome to Primetime.
Hey, Chris, it's great to be with you. Well, I mean, I think that that's another establishment myth that they try to create fear in the minds of the voter, thinking that we have to settle for what we have. I say the status quo has got to go. It's time for big changes in Washington. We need new blood there, new ideas, stronger backbones, so that we can continue to move the country in the right direction.
Why no love from Trump for you?
Oh, Trump, I think Trump likes all of the people in the race. I think that that's why he's kind of sitting back and watching. I can tell you, the people of Arizona are the ones that I really want their endorsement. The people
more than Trump?
Who know.
He has become like the golden ticket from Willy Wonka for people in the primaries and in the elections if he takes their side.
Well, unfortunately, President Trump doesn't have a vote in Arizona, so I need those votes in Arizona to come across the ballot box for me.
But I got to check you on this one more time, Doc. You know
Sure.
that Donald Trump being behind you in your party right now, especially coming from your perspective on issues, is the golden ticket from Willy Wonka. I love that because I just love the movie. But you gotta want it.
I do too.
You gotta want it.
It's one of my favorites. Of course, I think that having the support of the president as a Republican in a time when we're going to have a heat wave and bring the heat to drain the swamp, of course it would be wonderful to have the president on board. And, but it's not the most important endorsement. The most important endorsement is the people of Arizona, who want a thoughtful, effective, results-oriented leader with a proven track record of success. And I'm the only one in the race that has those credentials.
Why are you better than Joe Arpaio?
Well, because I have a proven track record. When I was in the state Senate, I got 19 bills signed into law based on excellent policy, not on political pandering or any kind of extreme partisanship. Great policy that I brought forward, and people on both sides of the aisle agreed it would be good for the people that they represented. And then I was able to navigate that swampy, murky process of getting things from the Senate to the House and to the executive's desk. And that's why so many people wanted me to run for the United States Senate. They're tired of the gridlock in Washington. They're tired of the partisanship. They're tired of the headbutting. They want someone to go there and get things done. And that's what I'm going to do whenever I get to Washington, D.C.
You and Arpaio have been coupled often in different analyses of the race, and you are both attributed with the same potential plus and minus, which is that you have a tendency to demonize the immigrant population and source them as a huge problem for Arizona. Do you think that's fair treatment of you?
I don't really. I think that, people who come here illegally and illegal immigration really it has affected every aspect of our society, not just in Arizona, but across the entire nation. It's not just an Arizona border crisis, it's a 50-state border crisis. It affects education, it affects healthcare that I've seen as a physician, up close and personal. Education as a mom, it's affected public safety, it's affected corrections. All of those things are affected by illegal immigration, which is why I'm such a staunch supporter of border security and building the wall. I think that...
Do you believe that most illegal immigrants are criminals? Bad people?
I don't.
Bad hombres?
I heard you talking earlier, or saw a clip of you talking about your family and how they got here. My family came the same way. My great-grandparents came from Hungary and from Poland. They were fleeing communism. The communists were coming in, taking over their farms. They couldn't survive. So they came to this great land through Ellis Island. They came the right way. And both of my grandfathers became coal miners. They went into the scariest, darkest, most dangerous profession in order to provide for their families. My grandfather on my dad's side died in the number 9 mine explosion, and his body was never recovered. But they did that so that my parents, my mom and dad, could both become teachers. And my parents worked hard so that my brother and I could both become doctors. And that's the American dream. And I want people to experience that. I want people from all over the world to be able to come here to experience that. I just want them to come the right way. And the reason we need a wall is because we need a symbol of a right and wrong way to come in. Not only a symbol,
pretty
though,
expensive
a significant deterrent. But it's also a significant deterrent.
A lot of people think it wouldn't work, that people would get over it just like they got over anything else. 10-foot wall, 11-foot ladder.
You're exactly right. My opponent, Martha McSally, says walls don't work and we're never going to have one, no matter what she says on the campaign trail.
What's wrong with that?
What we do know is that not having a wall hasn't worked. Back in 1986, President Reagan, one of my favorite presidents, great American, conservative, happy warrior, he granted amnesty and then trusted Congress to secure the border. It didn't happen then, and it's not going to happen now.
Right, but what you said earlier about the dream, you know, a lot of people who come illegally have that same dream, and they work themselves to death here, and they get paid subpar wages, and a lot of industries here, and a lot of households here are dependent on them, and a lot of the analyses show that they are a benefit, as well as how you would define them as a burden. And the second part of it is that legal immigration is under attack by people in your party as well. Donald Trump specifically wants to limit immigration legally in a way that would have kept his own in-laws out of this country. And that is not embracing the same spirit of inclusion that we see at the foot of the Statue of Liberty. Fair point.
Well, I think that people need to come here the right way. I think that proposing
you're trying to limit who
system,
can come the right way. That's what I'm saying to you.
Well, we're trying to change the system so that it is actually something that works. It's right now, it is so bogged down by the people who have come here illegally. In my state, the federal court dockets are clogged with people who have come back through illegal re-entry again and again and again. And that slows down the process for the people who want to come here legally. That's not fair. I just talked to a man yesterday. He's going to be having his citizenship ceremony next week on the 17th. He came here from Brazil as a teenager, the right way. His parents came here legally, but it took him 19 years to obtain this citizenship ceremony that he's going to have next year. That's too long. We've got to be able to get people to come in who are going to be assets to our society and our economy, as well as to their own.
Then you should be against Trump administration policy they're trying to put through, that men like him, who are here on a visa that can be approved or not renewed, that if there's any sign that they've used any government benefit, like the Earned Income Tax Credit, or anyone related to them has, they can be nixed. What an unfair thing to do. Do you agree with that?
I don't think that that's what he was on, but I think that it's something that we have to look at. When people come to our country for economic benefit that is paid for by the taxpayer, that is something that is unacceptable to most people across the country. They want people to come here. They want them to be prosperous on their own. They want them to have skills to be able to take care of themselves, to be able to experience the joy and success of having their own job and being able to take care of themselves and their families.
All right.
And so, we have to look at all of those signs, because it's not fair to burden the American taxpayer with people who come into our country.
But remember, as we heard from the CEOs the other day, they ain't just a burden. All right, not only are immigrants the people who built this country in the first place, but now you have CEOs asking the president to give them more. And he said he would help them, and then the White House denied it. But Dr. Ward, thank you for making the case. We'll be following your race very closely.
Thanks, Chris. It's great to be here.
All right. President Trump ramping up